Okay, so good morning nurses of 2025. So now let us discuss about the intracranial pressure. Okay, so focus. Are you ready? Okay, nurses of 2025. Okay, so guys, when we say intracranial pressure, the intracranial pressure is the pressure exerted by the fluid such as your cerebrospinal fluid, the blood, and the brain tissue. Ulitin ko po. Pag sinabi po nating intracranial pressure is the pressure exerted by the fluid such as your cerebrospinal fluid, the blood, and the brain tissue. Okay? So kapag meron po daw tayong fluid na mas tumataas ang pressure, nagkakaroon tayo ng compression later on. Okay? So now, what is the pathophysiology? Okay? So let us discuss the pathophysiology. Okay, so remember that your skull or our skull is a rigid container. Yes or no? Yes po, Sir Jeff. Rigid container po yan. Matigas po yan. Okay? Matigas po yan. Okay? So sabi dito, any increase in one of the components can lead to your intracranial pressure. Okay? Ulitin po natin. Ano daw yung mga components ng ating brain or ng cranial natin? Okay, we have your three components. Normal components, number one, we have your CSF. In the CSF, we have your 10%. Number two, we have your blood. And the blood is about 10%. We also have your brain tissue. And the brain tissue is about 80%. Okay? So, itong tatlong component na to is normal. Okay? However, in your intracranial pressure, okay, pwedeng tumaas ang isa sa kanila. Okay? Kaya ang sabi dito, any of one component increases will lead to your increased intracranial pressure. Isa daw sa tatlong ito ang tumaas, magkakaroon tayo ng ICP or increased intracranial pressure. Okay? May sinasabi tayong hypothesis. Okay? Yung hypothesis is what we call your Monro-Kelly hypothesis. So, anong ginagawa ni Monro-Kelly hypothesis? Sabi dito, if the volume of one of this component, ulitin natin, if the volume of one of this component increase, the other two components must decreases. Ulitin po natin. If the volume, okay, of one of this component increases, pag tumaas ang isa sa mga yan, okay, yung dalawa nating component dapat ay bababa para meron pa rin tayong normal increase, normal intracranial pressure. Okay? At tinanong sa board examination dati, what is the normal ICP is about 5 to 15 millimeters of mercury. Okay? Kapag more than 15, okay, 20 millimeters of mercury, then this is what we call your increased intracranial pressure. Ulitin po natin, Sir Jeff. Ang sabi, your skull is a rigid container. Matigas po yan. Yes po, Sir Jeff. Okay? Kapag may tumaas, okay, na isang component, okay, pwede po siya magkaroon ng pressure. Okay? Tumaas, magkakaroon po siya ng pressure. Pag may pressure, magkakaroon din po tayo ng compression. Okay? Kapag may pressure, magkakaroon din po tayo ng compression. Okay? So, sabi ni Monro-Kelly hypothesis, one of this volume, okay, or if the volume of one of this component, it's either the CSF, the blood, or the brain tissue ang tumaas dyan, dapat bababa yung dalawang natitira para mag-compensate. Para meron pa rin tayong normal intracranial pressure. Okay? Para maiwasan yung increased intracranial pressure. Okay? And the normal is about 5 to 15 millimeters of mercury. Okay? So, klaro? Klaro? Klaro. Okay. Now, let us proceed with your risk factors. Okay? The risk factors of your increase in intracranial pressure or the contributing factor. So we have number 1, okay, is your brain tumor. Yes po, Sir Jeff, brain tumor. Okay, so this is your skull or the brain. This is your tumor. Okay, kapag po yan ay lumaki, nagkaroon ng pressure. Okay, so nagkakaroon tayo ng compression. Okay, the second one. Okay, so we have what we call your hematoma. Yes po, Sir Jeff, hematoma. The third one is your hydrocephalus. Okay? Hydrocephalus is also a contributing factor or a risk factor to develop your increased intracranial pressure. Okay? And the fourth one, we have what we call your traumatic brain injury, such as your concussion, okay, and your contusion. Okay? So, nabarog ang pasyente, na aksidente, nabunggo, okay? Ang ulo ang napatama. So, pwede po tayo magkaroon ng traumatic brain injury, the concussion, and the contusion. Okay? So, those are the risk factor. Okay? So, next is the signs and symptoms. Okay? Sir Jeff, ano po yung sign and symptoms nito? As I told you a while ago, guys, makukuha natin yung sign and symptoms ng isang disease kapag alam natin yung problem mismo. Okay? So, sabi natin kanina, there is what? There is increased intracranial pressure. Kapag may increased intracranial pressure inside our skull or the brain, magkakaroon po ba ng compression or pagtulak? Okay? Let's say your blood or CSF or there's tumor inside. Magkakaroon po ba ng compression due to the pressure? Yes po, Sir Jeff. Okay, so the main problem here is your compression. Okay? There is what? There is compression. So, dyan natin uhugutin yung mga sign and symptoms ng ICP. Okay? So, number 1. Okay? Lagay natin dito. Okay? Sir, kapag may compression sa brain, okay, pwede po ba na ma-compromise or ma-damage or ma-compress yung ating medulla oblongata? Yes or no? Yes po, Sir Jeff. Okay? There is what? There is compression of your medulla oblongata and the pons. Okay? Medulla oblongata and the pons. Okay? Pwede po ba? Yes, pwede po. Remember guys, saan ba nakalocate yung ating medulla oblongata? Located at the bottom of the brain. Okay? At the bottom of the brain. Okay? Sir, ano po ba ang function? Okay? Ano po ba ang function ni medulla oblongata? Remember, the function of your medulla oblongata is to control, okay? To control your respiratory center. Okay? To control your respiratory center or to control your respiration. Okay? To control your respiration or breathing. Okay? Aside from the breathing or respiration, it also what? It control your heart rate, okay, and your pulse. Okay? The heart rate and the pulse. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, may kinalaman din sila saan? Sa ating heart. Okay? Sa medulla oblongata, and the pons is responsible to control your respiration, the heart, and the pulse. Okay? So, now, if compromised, okay, if compromised ang ating medulla oblongata, it will what? It will change, okay? It will affect or change what? Your vital signs, okay? It will affect or change your vital signs, okay? So, Sir Jeff, ano sa vital sign ang maaapektuhan natin? Remember, they control what? Respiration, the heart rate, and the pulse, okay? So, number 1 is what we call your, yes, decrease ang what? Decrease in heart rate. Okay? Kasi na-compromise. The second one, decrease ang alin? Decrease ang ating respiration or respiratory rate. Okay? The third one is what we call your, what? The pulse pressure, okay, is wide. Okay? There is widening of your pulse pressure. Okay? And this is what we call, guys, your Cushing. Okay? This is your Cushing triads. Okay? So this is your Cushing's triads. Okay? So now we have your first problem is compression in the medulla oblongata and the pons. Okay? It will give you what? Since we know the function is to control the respiration, regulate your heart rate and the pulse rate, then it will change what? It will change the vital signs of the patient. Okay? Decrease ang heart rate, decrease ang respiratory rate, and wide ang ating pulse pressure. And this is what we call your Cushing's triads. Okay? So aside from the change in vital sign, also the patients may experience, okay, there's compression of medulla oblongata. There is what? There is manifestation of vomiting. This is what we call your projectile vomiting. Okay? The projectile vomiting. Okay? The vomiting center. Okay? The vomiting center is also compromised. Okay? So are we clear? Okay? Malinaw po ba sa ating first problem is your medulla oblongata? Na-compress, na-compromise. There is a compression? Yes. Okay? It will give you what? Change vital sign. Okay? Decrease ang heart rate, decrease ang ating respiration rate, and also your wide ang ating pulse pressure. And the vomiting center, okay, will give you what? Projectile vomiting. Okay? So the second problem, okay? The second problem, na-compromise din ang ating reticular formation. Okay, compressed din po ba yan, Sir Jeff? Yes po, okay? There is compression of your reticular activating system or the RAS. Okay? Reticular activating system or the RAS. Saan po nakalocate yan, Sir Jeff? Sa baba din po yan nakalocate. Okay? Nakalocate. So, this is a network of neurons. Okay? This is a network of neurons in the brainstem. So, network daw siya ng neurons natin sa brainstem natin. Okay? Reticular activating system. Sir, kapag na-compromise yan, okay, remember, okay, the function of this one is the role, okay, the role of your reticular activating system is to what? To maintain, okay? Sir, anong function ng atin? To maintain the level of consciousness, okay? And also for arousal, okay? Your arousal, okay? To maintain the level of consciousness and to regulate the arousal. Okay? So, Sir Jeff, kapag na-compromise or na-compress yung ating reticular activating system, pwede po ba tayo magkaroon ng sign and symptoms then? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes po, Sir Jeff. Okay? Pwede po tayo magkaroon ng manifestation related sa ating level of consciousness. Okay? So, Sir Jeff, ano po yung mga sign and symptoms related? So, number 1, level of consciousness. So, anong pwede mangyari sa pasyente? What is your restlessness? Okay? Restlessness? Yes po, Sir Jeff. Okay? Pwede ba ang drowsiness? Yes. Drowsiness is also. Or yung tinatawag nating confusion. Okay? Confused po ang pasyente. Okay? Confusion. Okay? Drowsiness and confusion. Okay? Aside from that, Sir Jeff, ano pa po? Ano pa po? Pwede po ba masakit ang ulo? Yes, pwede din. Dagdag na natin dyan ang headache ng pasyente. Okay? And the fourth one is your worst scenario is the coma. Okay? Kasi ang apektado is the level of consciousness. Okay? The coma or the stupor. Okay? So, naintindihan po ba? Yung ating, meron na po tayong dalawang nabuo aside from the medulla oblongata, na-compromise din po yung ating reticular activating system. And the function of your reticular activating system or the role is to maintain the level of consciousness and to regulate the arousal. Okay? And it will give you manifestation like what? Restlessness, related dyan sa level of consciousness. Drowsiness, related din sa level of consciousness. Headache, and the worst scenario is the coma. Okay? So, next one, Sir Jeff. Okay? Meron din po bang pwedeng ma-damage ang ating or maapektuhan yung tinatawag nating cranial nerve? Okay, pwede rin bang maapektuhan ng cranial nerve? Yes po. Okay, pwede po maapektuhan ng ating cranial nerves. So, number 1, we have your cranial nerves number 3. Okay? So, ano yung cranial nerve number 3? Your cranial nerves number 3 is what we call your oculomotor. Okay? Your oculomotor is responsible for your coordination of your eye movements, okay? The eye muscles, okay? The eye muscles for constriction and dilation. Okay? So, meaning, if apektado ang ating oculomotor, guys, wala na tayong magandang constriction and dilation ng ating pupil. And this can lead to what? Dilated or fixed dilated. Okay? Dilated what? Ipsa. Okay? The ipsilateral. Ano yun, Sir Jeff? Dilated ipsilateral pupils. Okay? Dilated ipsilateral pupils. Okay? So, responsible for eye muscle movements and for constricting and dilating of our pupils. Since there is a problem na compromise, okay, na compress, okay? So, yung inyong cranial nerve number 3 is also affected. Okay? The oculomotor, okay, it will give you what? Dilated ipsilateral pupils. Okay? Aside from your cranial nerve number 3, also we have your cranial nerve number 6. Okay? Your cranial nerve number 6, okay, is your is responsible, okay, responsible or can lead to what? It can lead, okay, leading to palsy, okay, leading to palsy and double, okay, double vision. Okay? Your cranial nerve number 6 is leading to palsy and double vision. Okay? So, this is the problem when it comes to your cranial nerve damage. Okay? The 3 and the 4. Okay? So, now we know na yung ating mga problem and the signs and symptoms. Now, let us proceed with your treatment. Okay? Sir Jeff, ano po ba ang treatment natin dito? Okay? So, the treatment number 1 is what we call your mannitol. Okay? Sir, bakit may mannitol? Okay? Your mannitol is the mechanism of action is your osmotic, okay, diuretics. Okay? Your osmotic diuretics. Anong ginagawa ng osmotic diuretics? So, since meron tayong fluid sa brain, okay, or kung ano man yung compression natin dyan, so hihilahin niya, okay, palabas, okay, para mabawasan yung pressure natin doon. Okay? So, this is your osmotic pressure. Okay? Meron din tayong tinatawag na corticosteroid and other drugs. Okay? So, we will discuss more about the increase in intracranial pressure, yung whole discussion sa susunod nating video. Okay? For now, dito lang muna tayo sa ating sign and symptoms and one treatment. Okay? Or drugs na binigay natin, which is your mannitol. Okay? So, I hope guys, meron tayong nakuha in this video. Okay? So, thank you so much for your listening and see you in our next video. Okay? Thank you so much.